y'all, Dixie here. Today I want to tell you about why I hate hiking, and that can pretty much be summed up into one word, and that's uphills. I enjoy most of the backpacking experience, like specifically camping or exploring magical places that couldn't be seen otherwise than by foot, and generally just spending time in nature. But for some reason, the actual walking, hiking part of backpacking, I just don't enjoy it, and I especially loathe the uphills. It's honestly kind of surprising to myself that I'm a triple crowner and I have walked so many uphills just because I hate it so much. But, you know, overall the experience outweighs the negative of the actual walking part. I know most people prefer uphills to downhill, so I'm certainly in the minority on that. But thru hiking will whip you into shape if you aren't already there. And I wouldn't say that the uphills get easier as you go, but you just tend to do them a little faster. I've always wanted to stay in shape between hikes because once I finish a thru hike, I feel like, you know, I've got my trail legs, and then I lay up on the couch for a while and start another thru hike after doing no physical exertion really, and I'm back to square one. But I just never really put in the work until I was training to summit Mount Kilimanjaro. I knew that was one that I really didn't need to just step off the couch, although some people have been successful with that. So I started working out probably 5 or 6 weeks before Kilimanjaro, and then continue that into my preparations for my Arizona Trail thru hike. I was doing exercises like squats, lunges, and some posterior chain exercises that did not include deadlifting because, especially as a beginner, I know that's more of a technical lift and there's a high risk for injury, so I didn't want to hurt myself trying to get in shape. I felt like working my lower body and strengthening my leg muscles, my glutes, would help me be stronger and be able to not hate uphills so much while I was thru hiking the AZT. But I also worked on my upper body because obviously being in the best shape you can all around is going to help prevent injuries. So if you were to have a fall on trail, if you're in better shape, you might not tweak something the same way that you would if you're really not in shape at all. Plus, I think people don't really think about lifting a pack every day and putting it on. So having that upper body strength was important to me too. Also, I have horrible posture. I mean, I always remember, even as a little girl, my mom telling me, you know, hold your shoulders back, pull your shoulders back, stand up straight. I think because I was so much taller than other people my age growing up, I felt like I had to kind of slouch to be down on their height level. It just felt like I was the Jolly Green Giant or something. And I mean, I'm only 5'8". But I don't think backpacking has helped my posture in any way. I tend to kind of slouch over with my pack weight because it just seems easier to lean over, especially going up hills. When I've got all the weight on my back, pulling my shoulders back, it's not comfortable for me because I've had terrible posture for so many years. Also, sitting in a tent. The tents aren't super tall, and it's easier to just kind of slouch over sitting in your tent. So I think there are a lot of things about backpacking that don't contribute to a healthy posture, and mine's probably gotten worse over time. So I was also working my upper body in hopes of improving my posture and trying to kind of offset the damage that backpacking has done. In addition to working out my legs and my upper body at least once a week each, but typically closer to twice a week, I was fitting in some cardio in between those workouts. I went and ran out in the neighborhood a little bit, but I also won a treadmill in an auction. I got it for pretty cheap. So I would set the incline as steep as it would go and then walk about 3.5 miles per hour or so. As far as supplements go, I've been taking protein after my workouts, the Naked Whey that I mentioned in another video. And that's really to feed my muscles, to help repair them and build them after straining them while working out. In addition to protein, I've been taking creatine once daily after I did my creatine loading for a week or so. So what's the verdict? Did all of this training, weightlifting, cardio, supplements do any good for me when I got out to the Arizona Trail? Well, as many of y'all know, and if you don't know, I only did about a mile or so of the Arizona Trail before I had to come back home If you don't know why, I'll put a link to that video in the video description. But even in that first 1.5 miles, I finally just kind of had a light bulb go off in my brain. I've really not had experience again with working out and staying in shape throughout my life. But as I was out there, I was like, okay, you know, I do feel like I'm in the best shape that I've ever been starting a thru hike, but I see now how I could have trained differently and maybe improved how I feel, or improved my training to kind of tailor it to this specifically. And of course, the best exercise is getting out with your pack on, with weight in it, and hiking up hills, hiking trails. But as far as what's convenient at the house, I think everything that I did was good, but I would have added in more cardio, and specifically more cardio on the treadmill with that steep incline, but weight on my back. Now, I could just load down my pack and walk on the treadmill, but what I'm gonna do is order a weighted vest and start walking on the treadmill with that. So it was just really cool to see, you know, I was kind of doing this prep blindly, like, hey, I'll just get in the best shape that I can. But as soon as my feet hit that trail, it was like, man, I could have done this and I think I would have been better off. So ultimately, my goal is to enjoy more of the backpacking experience as a whole, and that means enjoying the hiking more too, not hating the uphills so much, and in doing so, keeping myself in shape and making sure I'm healthy enough to continue doing this for years to come. So these are the things that I'm going to add in, and I'll get back to y'all once I hit the trail again for a thru hike and let you know how it works out for me. If y'all train for backpacking and you found something specifically that you can do, especially like at home in the gym setting, that helped you prepare for a hike, please let me know in the comments below, because I'm definitely not an expert on this topic. I'm still learning, but I did want to share with those of y'all who might also be beginning too. Thank y'all so much for watching. If you found this video useful, don't forget to share with a friend, and we will see y'all next time.